Douche! Hey guys, it's Friday, which of course it means it's time for hashtag Friday Reads. And in hashtag Friday Reads, I share with you the books I'll be reading for the weekend. Yeah, silly little intro. Tee-hee-hee. Well, anyways, let's get on with the books that I am going to be reading this weekend. But before I share with you the books I'm going to read this weekend, I want to mention the Fantasy Fest Readathon. I am going to be day number 2's host, and I will be announcing a challenge for the Fantasy Fest Readathon. And I kind of feel like I have to make another announcement about the Fantasy Fest Readathon because there's only 23 people following the Fantasy Fest Readathon YouTube page. I really don't understand why there's only 23 people subscribed to that channel when... Come on, BookTube. As a community, I know a lot of you guys read fantasy books. I also know that a lot of you do readathons. Now, I personally have never done a readathon. I always don't believe in doing TBRs. I always like to just read whatever I feel like reading, so I just kind of go with my own little flow when it comes to reading. Fantasy Fest Readathon was a great idea to try to, get some people to focus on reading fantasy fiction and to perhaps introduce other people to fantasy that they may not be reading or may not even know about. So enough of that. I will leave the link down below for that page if you want to go ahead and check it out. If you want to participate in the Fantasy Fest Readathon, there's all the links on their page to like their Goodreads and their Facebook and all of that stuff. So it sounds like it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to get this thing going. So that's why I wanted to share it. Okay, this weekend I am currently reading The Toughest Indian in the World by Sherman Alexie. I know a lot of people are familiar with his Lone Ranger and Tonto Fistfight in Heaven and The Diary of a Part-Time Indian, but this one is a collection of short stories, and it's really not that long of a book. It's only like 237, 38 pages. Really short stories. I'm not sure how I exactly feel about this right at this moment. I'm like that far in, and I've read like 3 or 4 of the short stories, and they're all kind of weird and strange, and but at the same time they have an element of seriousness in them. Like one of the stories I read was about a Native American guy who marries a white woman, and they live this perfect life. He's like a lawyer, he's got all kinds of money, but he kind of feels out of touch with his culture, so he goes to this Native American bar and decides to try to interact with other Native Americans in the bar, and they really kind of have this pissed off attitude with this guy because, for one, he's dressed really nice, he's wearing really nice clothes, and this one guy ends up kicking his ass in the alley because he asks to fight him because he wants to feel like a warrior. And the one lady, when she's helping him recover, says to him that, we all want to be where you are in your life. We all want to feel like you feel, but yet here you are trying to be like us when we all really want to be like you. And Sherman Alexie kind of makes it seem like a race thing because the lady quote, I'm going to quote, kind of near quote, I don't know exactly what she said, but she said something along the lines, well, I have to worry of whether I have enough food to eat. And that quote was just like, wow, it's not just a race thing. If you've ever been poor, if you've ever had to wonder if you were going to have enough food to live, it just it was a great quote. And it was little things like that yes, some of these stories are kind of nonsense and they're really weird and absurd, but just they're always little elements of that in the stories, which I thought was really cool. So I would definitely check this out just for that reason alone. Along with that, I am reading Deadpool Original Sin, and I think this is volume 6. Yes, volume 6. it does feature classic Dazzler, like Deadpool time travels back to get her to help deal with the Dracula vampire menace that's trying to pay back against his wife. So it's kind of, I'm not really sure what I think about this one yet either, but I'll show you some of the inside. So yeah, I'm really not sure what I think of that so far, but you know, and while it is not on my Kindle, I am reading a Kindle book. I originally approached the publisher because I really like David Wellington's work, and I decided to approach the publisher, and I found out because like I didn't know that this book was released, and I usually love everything that Dave Wellington has written. Like I absolutely loved his Laura Caxton series, which is about vampires, and they're really scary vampires. And I liked his approach to his zombie books with his zombie, was it Monster Nation and Monster Island and all. I can't remember what the third one was called, but those were a different take on zombies, and I thought those were good too. So I really wanted to read positive. So I approached the publisher and I said, hey, you know, I'm a book blogger, book vlogger, you know, and I says, hey, can I get a copy of that book? Because I'd really like to read it because I'm a fan of the author, and I was hoping they were going to give me a free copy, either like a free physical copy or a free e-copy. I know I'm asking a lot here, but they never responded to my email. So Amazon had a deal on it at one time through BookBub. And BookBub is an email service where, you know, they let you know when there's free ebooks or when certain ebooks are come up on sale. And one day it was on sale for like $1.99. And I usually do not buy ebooks, but being that I love that author so much, I was like, yeah, sure, you know, I'll throw down like $1.99 because I am cheap as hell. I will admit that. I am very cheap. I really don't have a lot of money to spend on books anymore. So yeah, when I saw it was $1.99 and I happened to have some Amazon credits, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll buy it and check it out. Well, anyways, it's called Positive because it's set in the future and there's been a zombie apocalypse, and people can become infected by, you know, getting fluids that cause the zombie virus in them, and the change may take a few seconds, may take a few minutes, it might even take years, which I thought was an interesting twist because one of the events in the book is they're all sitting down to eat dinner, and the mom just out of nowhere turns into a zombie, and she was like infected like 20 years prior, and they didn't know it. And if there's any chance that any offspring from somebody like that could possibly be infected too, so this guy gets a positive plus sign tattoo on his hand, and he's exiled from the community. So, and it kind of shows you what the life is like in what they call the wilderness, where, you know, people are trying to survive and there's still zombies and everything. So far, that one seems pretty decent. I'm not 100% sure what I think of that one either. I do know, I think there were a couple of negative reviews about that one, but I'm going to still read it because I really like Wellington's writing. And it, like I said, it is an interesting take, while it is kind of, you know, the whole plot behind it seems kind of not very original, but, you know, it is unique in its way in that it's a zombie fiction with that kind of take. So that is what I am reading this Friday. Please check out the link for the Fantasy Fest readathon down below. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or share with me what you're reading this weekend. I'm always looking to hear what other people are reading. I do, even if I don't post a hashtag Friday Reads video, I do tend to check every Friday, and it seems like Friday Reads videos are not as popular as they used to be. But I still look for them and look to see what other people are reading. So, thanks for watching, and until next time, later guys.